In-house design team or outsourcing your design efforts? What is the right option for you as a startup fashion brand and perhaps even as an established fashion brand? You're going to be walking away with some actionable steps to take to ultimately determine what is the best course of action for you. What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fit Design TV. So to really make things clear, what does it mean to hire in-house versus to outsource or to hire an agency? In-house means that you are dedicating the resources from your internal team, or on the flip side, you outsource the project and you hire an agency, and the agency entity has to deal with all the management. What you're getting from them is the finished result. We'll start off with the advantages of hiring in-house or doing the work yourself. The first is going to be financial transparency. When you're managing the production or the design process in-house, you're going to have complete control over your costs. You're going to know what you're paying your employees, you're going to know what you're paying your part-timers. You can tally all of that up and you can have complete transparency over all of the costs. Second is going to be control. A lot of control can and will be given up when dealing with an agency. And this is where you need to select the right agency. And they're going to make the best possible decision. They're going to take your unique needs into account. What you're going to want to do is to provide your personal input, to be present, to answer questions, and to be there to guide the agency down the direction that you want. Next up is involvement. Here we have to understand that your in-house employees or in-house resources are only going to be solely dedicated to your projects and your projects only. With an agency, that agency has a large team and potentially has a large client roster, all of which they have their employees dealing with multiple projects at the same time for other brands. This may lead to some more difficult turnaround times when you have things back to back. Well, what are the disadvantages? The first is that they have to deal with HR. Operating a business is not just about the output that you receive from your employees. There has to be input from your side. There needs to be a structure. Systems have to go into place so that everyone knows their role. Everyone knows what needs to happen in the event of issues that arise in the company. What happens in all the minute details of the company. If you're hiring in-house and you're retaining your team in-house, you're going to have to add another layer of administrative responsibilities in order to manage your team from an HR component. And that doesn't even take into account whether or not that they actually produce any viable work for you. You're going to have to deal with paid time off. You're going to have to deal with sick leave. You're going to have to deal with personal issues. All of these things stack up on your plate. They distract you from the primary focus of the brand, which is to create beautiful designs that impact customers. Two is that there are limitations on your team's ability to output. So for example, if you're a yoga brand and you hire a small team of 2 to 3 designers and they work with you for 1 or 2 years, their entire exposure day in, day out is going to be on sports bras, on leggings. What happens if you want to expand to shoes? Your design team doesn't have the capabilities to go into these areas because they haven't been trained on that. So when you work solely in-house, you have a limitation in terms of your output because the methodology, the work that you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis does not promote or support cross-lateral, horizontal examinations or explorations of different product categories. One of the other major disadvantages is a high rate of employee turnover. Your employees are going to be working on the same projects over and over in the same exact format with the same exact specifications. They get bored of doing the same tasks over and over without any ability to go into new areas, new categories, new product types that they can sink their teeth into. And this is a major headache for business owners because onboarding staff, training them and getting them to a viable position where they can contribute effectively to your company requires a lot of time, effort, and money. The more turnover, the higher rate of turnover that you have, the more time you have to spend training and onboarding employees and the less time that you have to spend actively creating and producing for the brand. So we've looked at the disadvantages of remaining and hiring in-house. Well, what is the flip side? What if we choose to work with an agency? First and foremost, a strict selection of personnel. Because of the nature of the agency and a high pressure scenario where the personnel that are employed in said agency are going to be of a higher quality, a higher caliber. They're going to be more ready to meet deadlines. They're going to have a better ability to have flexibility. They're going to be more exposed to a variety of different tools because their work demands it. They're not just dealing with 1 or 2 specific types of items on a day in and day out basis. They need to be ready to adapt. And this should give you the flexibility to understand, oh, I don't have to train my own internal staff. I don't have to deal with onboarding new employees or maybe hiring freelancers to fill in the gaps. It's the ability and the flexibility flexibility to do whatever you want and whenever you want. Second major plus, you're going to get a consistent flow of stable work regardless of employee issues or employee sick days or employee off days. Because even if someone is sick on that team, you're going to have the ability to have someone replace them or to step in for them immediately. They're going to dedicate the resources necessary to keep pushing your project forward. That's what we do at Fit Design. We hire and we put a specific member of our team to a specific project. But in the event that that team member is on an off day or they have a vacation, well, we have many other team members that have the background so that our customers don't have to feel the pain or any delays in their workflow. Last and probably most importantly is that the management is on the side of the agency. Managing a team is insanely difficult. Take it from me, I've managed over 40 different people over the last 3 years, and I know what it takes to manage a strong team, to keep people organized, to keep them accountable, to hold people to the standards that we wish to hold in our company. And managing people requires patience, it requires the ability to persevere, it requires an understanding of someone else, it requires compassion, it requires strength, it requires persistence. So many attributes that don't even contribute to the main creation of the product. So with an agency, and especially with an agency that is worth a damn, that management is going to come down to the side of the CEO or the owner of that agency. And if this is someone that you look up to, this is someone that you can rely on, well, you know that they are managing your team. Basically, if you're working with an agency, their team is now your team, but they're taking over the headache of all of the managerial issues, all of the employee problems, all of the deadlines, all of the times that they need to hold people accountable to make sure that things happen on time, to standard, and within budget. On the flip side, what are some disadvantages? There are a few, and I believe that a strong and reliable agency can actively overcome these disadvantages and create a offering that creates the best of both worlds for the customers. First disadvantage is that you might get not as deep of an involvement as you would like. Because your agency has multiple brands that they're working with, you may feel that the involvement that you're getting from the team that you're working with is not as involved. What I've done is I've created a system by which we may have multiple people working on a project at the same time, but I have one specific designer that is assigned to each of our customers. They've been fully integrated to provide their full involvement, their full integration into the process. What we want our customers to feel is that our design team is their design team. We're taking all of that for them, but they're still retaining that involvement. They're still retaining someone that understands the vision of their company, the unique values and aspects of their company, and is willing to go above and beyond to deliver specifically for your brand. The second disadvantage is sometimes you have to deal with the manager's hours. A lot of agencies will highlight or will put in an account manager that has limited hours in order to manage a project. This comes with two big issues. First is that you may not be able to communicate with said manager within specific hours because they're not going to be working outside of their working hours. Two, there may be issues in communication or translating. And what we do is the account manager that we assign is actually the designer of your brand. We train all of our staff to have excellent communication skills, great managerial skills. And what we do is we provide supporting roles around them in order to be able to assist them to create more effectively. The people that are creating your designs are also the people you're communicating with on a day-to-day basis. We offer ability to book meetings on demand, quick and efficient email responses in all hours of the day. What are the important things to consider before hiring an agency? First is you want to work with brands that are able to offer you clear and concise deliverables. When you work with an agency and you leave things in a very sort of unclear format, unscrupulous agency owners can actually use that to their advantage and can sell you on one thing and deliver on something else. What we do at Fit Design is we've always productized our services. Sure, we have customizable services for larger companies, but if you're a starter brand and you need the bare essentials, what we've done is we've curated a package with specific key deliverables. That way you know exactly what you're going to receive for the price that you're going to pay. And you also have the ability to work with us on a project by project basis. A lot of agencies will lock you into a retainer, they'll lock you into these long extended contracts. Though that may be useful as you scale up, as a starter brand, you may want the flexibility to try 1 or 2 products and to go from there. That's what we offer at Fit Design. We offer you the flexibility to pick and choose what services you want and how many of those services you want. So for example, if you're designing a collection that has 5 pieces, there's no point in us locking you into a contract that forces you to do 10 garments. You don't want to do that. You want to do 5. So why not give you the flexibility to do 5? And then in the future, if you want to add another 5 or another 3 or another 1, you can also do that as well. I would recommend before working with them, consider asking them for client references or get a sense that this agency, these people that you're working with are real people. Try to find if they have a YouTube channel. Try to find if they have an online presence. The more that you can understand the leaders, the better understanding you're you're going to have of the service. I'd also recommend arranging meetings, phone calls, video calls with the people that you're going to be working with. This is why we immediately offer our customers the ability to book a call with me or my partner. We make it so all of our team have access to their accounts. That way, if a customer wants to book a call, a video call with any of our team, they can do so within a 24-hour notice. That way you're getting what you want effectively and immediately. I would highly recommend to actively get involved in the results of the project. So many agencies sort of cut you out. But at Fit Design, what we try to do is we have core milestones to each and every one of our services, and we want our customers to be involved in those milestones. We want your feedback. We want to give you our feedback. We want to have a collaborative effort. That way, when you receive your finished product, you can look at this and say, with the help of Fit Design, I created something that I couldn't have before, but I feel the essence of my vision, my creativity in this finished product. Well guys, that is it. Hopefully by the end of this episode, you have a better idea on whether staying in-house and designing products yourself is for you, or working with a reputable design agency is the option for you. If you do want to work with a reputable agency, consider working with Fit Design. Cannot recommend it enough. We have over 7 years of experience in the business and we've serviced over 1,000 clients. We are unique in everything we do, and at the first and foremost, we look at what our customers want and what value that we need to add to the design, development, and production process. We strive to make things insanely simple for you and affordable for you so that you can get your brand up and running and you can get the brand to the market with the vision that you want. Look at the description below. I'll be more than happy to hop on a call with you and discuss more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fit Design TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.